Jeff's Superscript is brought to you by Black Cat Comics and Collectibles. In my opinion, the best comic shop and clubhouse on the internet. Make sure to follow them at Black Cat Burbank on Instagram and ask them about their Stray Cats Club for special perks. Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I take a look at all the new comic books hitting Final Order Cutoff this upcoming Thursday, July 1st, take note of that, for DC and everything from Lunar Distribution, and Monday, July the 5th, for everything from Diamond. I know, because of the July 4th holiday, a very happy 4th of July to all of you, Lunar has pushed up their FOC all the way to Thursday, July the 1st. So keep note of that, while Diamond's, Marvel, and most of the indies is still on Monday. The good news is there isn't much to talk about by way of DC books. I have one I'm going to mention in this video, and there frankly isn't much to talk about Final Order Cutoff-wise in general. So let's go ahead and jump right into the content of this video because I have a feeling it's going to be a fast one. The first book I want to mention to you is Icon and Rocket, Season 1. This is issue number 1 of a 6-issue limited series from DC. Here's the description. Long ago, the stranded alien known as Arnis gave up hope of returning to his home planet. Tragically, he'd also realized that his adopted home of Earth was beyond saving. Content to waste away his long life in a human guise, Arnis was past caring. Until the day a young woman named Raquel Irvin crashed into his life. Soon, she'd convinced him to put his incredible power to work again as the heroic Icon, and to transform her into his sidekick, Rocket. But an innocent question on Rocket's part, why can't we do something about the drugs on my corner, quickly set a chain of events in motion, leading to the pair becoming the most hunted beings on Earth. And they're not just being pursued by Earthlings either. Writer, director, and producer Reginald Hudlin and superstar artist Doug Braithwaite unleash a tale of power and responsibility that will stretch from the boardrooms of corporate America to the jungles of South America and the depths of deep space. If you've ever thought there were certain things that a superhero story just couldn't do, it might be time to start thinking different. All right, DC's descriptions are way too long, so I'm going to keep it very brief about this. All that I want to add about, other than what was in the description, is that this is part of the whole Milestone Returns thing that DC's doing. The Milestone imprint is bringing their characters back into the DC universe here, and first we had Static doing that, and now we have Icon and Rocket. If you remember these characters from their first incarnation and you want to check up with them now, this is a good book to pick up. Or if you missed it the first time and you're interested in supporting the whole kind of milestone ideal, you might want to go ahead and add this pre-FOC, which is once again Thursday, July the 1st. All right. The next book I want to mention to you is just kind of a personal thing that I wanted to mention. I don't often do late printings, but I wanted to mention this. It is the Department of Truth, issue number 1, the 6th and final print. You say final print, and sometimes you're like, yeah, well, let's see how well it sells first. I think if they're going to go ahead and not just call it the 6th print, if they're going to say 6th and final, it's likely to be the legitimate final. As a big fan of the book, I'm absolutely going to be picking this up. This one is actually kind of interesting to me as well, because most of the additional prints of issue number 1 have just been color shifts of the main cover that had Robert F. Kennedy on it, except for the secret variants that had Lee Harvey Oswald on them. Well, this is a completely different cover. I mean, it's in the style of issue number 1, but instead of having a JFK, it's got the lady in red. So it's a little bit more interesting to me in that regard because of that. But if you haven't picked up issue number 1, if you haven't read Department of Truth at all, I would highly recommend picking up this. Or if you're just a big fan like myself, this is a book that I'm definitely going to be picking up multiple copies of. I might suggest it for you as well. In addition, I just want to mention that the Department of Truth issue number 11 is also hitting Final Order Cutoff this upcoming Monday, July the 5th. I don't know that this is the best issue to jump on board with. It's going to be the second half of the Sasquatch storyline that they're doing. But, you know, I'm a fan. I was mentioning the 6th print. Issue 11 is hitting Final Order Cutoff. I thought I'd mention it as well. The next book I want to mention to you is a book called Mirka Andolfo's Sweet Paprika, issue number 1 from Image Comics. Here's the description. Paprika is a successful businesswoman, a New Yorker of Italian origin, period. A job and career consume her, forcing her to neglect her personal needs as well as her friends and family. Her heart is broken from a previous relationship and its consequences, and a rigid upbringing has made her a very introverted person. She wants a romantic relationship, but she doesn't know what she's doing. Not like Dill, a naive and suave delivery boy with an angelic attitude, handsome, and always surrounded by beautiful women falling for him. He doesn't have a worry in the world, and this makes Paprika very nervous. But he's the guy who could help her with her feelings and with sex. Bridget Jones's Diary meets Sex in the City with a pinch of Devil Wears Prada in the new international hit by acclaimed creator Mirka Andolfo. I have zero interest in this book, but I had to mention it because 1, it's a very light week for Final Order Cutoff, and 2, who knows? Maybe some of my viewers are big fans of Bridget Jones's Diary and Sex in the City and The Devil Wears Prada, and you're like, boy, that sounds like a perfect comic book read for me. If you're one of those people, I wanted to make sure you knew about it, or if you're just a big fan of Mirka Andolfo. But in general, it seems a little, I don't know, not for me. Let's just put it that way. The next book I want to mention to you is Symbiote SpiderMan Crossroads, issue number 1 of a 5-issue limited series. Here's the description. Peter David and Greg Land do the time warp again. After 3 sense-shattering series, Peter David, Greg Land, and Jay Leistin, and Frank Darmada, the entire Symbiote Spider-Man crew, return. This time, they're taking Spider-Man down the road less traveled to the supremely psychedelic Crossroads dimension. In their most ambitious series yet, the symbiote team puts Peter Parker and his alien costume on a collision course with none other than the Incredible Hulk in a story set just before Peter David's landmark run on the Hulk series. Okay, so Spider-Man's cool. Spider-Man's cool in the symbiote, you know, black suit Spidey. You know, it's cool. I picked up the Symbiote Spider-Man tie-in 5-part series that was part of the King in Black storyline, and I was bummed out. I had really high hopes for it. I was really looking forward to it. I thought it'd be a great place to tell more kind of symbiote-related stories, but it was just kind of, I don't know, it just wasn't very good. I'm surprised, I didn't know this, that was the second one that they had done a Symbiote Spider-Man series before that. I thought it was specific to the King of Black storyline. That made sense to me. But I guess now I should have, if I had known that there had been one beforehand, I would have known that, oh, they're just kind of trying to cash in on the popularity of Black Suit Spider-Man. And it continues here with this book right there. If you're a massive fan of Black Suit Spider-Man, then great. You get one more of these mini-series. And if you're not, I just don't think there's much reason to care. The next book I want to mention is another personal choice. It is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 18 from Boom Studios. I'm not going to bother reading the description. I just love this book so much. It's a light week. Something is Killing the Children was on FOC. I thought I would mention it. If you haven't already started pulling this book, you're probably not going to start now. I've talked about it so much. If you've been resisting all of my urging you to pick up this book so far, this FOC video is not going to put you over the top. But I just want to mention it is hitting FOC. And also, there's only one cover, it appears like, other than the 1:25 ratio incentive. There's been 2 covers for a minute. There appears to be just one. So that's just a note that I wanted to offer as well. And finally, I told you to be fast. The last book that I want to mention today is a book called The Last Book You'll Ever Read Issue number 1 from Vault Comics. Here's the description. Civilization is a lie. Hidden deep in our genes is the truth, and it is slowly clawing its way to the surface. Olivia Cade knows the truth, and she has become the prophet of the coming collapse. Her book, Satyr, is an international bestseller, and it is being blamed for acts of senseless violence and bloodshed all over the world. Olivia's own life is in danger from those who have read her work. Determined to conduct a book tour, she hires security professional Connor Wilson to act as her bodyguard. She only has one requirement. He cannot read her work. All right. In a book that has, in a week that has very few books that I find particularly interesting, aside, of course, from Department of Truth and Something is Killing the Children, this is the one that sounds the most interesting to me from a conceptual standpoint. I find it interesting that the book is somehow compelling people to do these horrible things, and she wants to do a book tour. So she needs security to protect herself from the people who are reading her book. It's a little wacky and wonky even, I would say, as well, but interesting. And if you're looking for something new to add to your polls for this particular FOC, this would be the one to add. This is a book that I don't expect to be very heavily ordered by comic shops. So if it did interest you, I would absolutely add it to your poll list previous to Final Order Cutoff this upcoming Monday, July the 5th. The last thing I'm going to say about this book is that it is written by Cullen Bunn. Yes, another book written by Cullen Bunn. If you watch my videos, you know I like to say it seems like every other book is written by Cullen Bunn. And more, it seems to hold up. But as I also say when I mention his name, for someone who must be writing this many comic books, there's got to be a reason. And it must be that he's good and that people like him. I don't read very much of this stuff. I read Basilisk, which he wrote, and I really enjoyed that. So I would welcome new opportunities to read more of his stuff. And the last book you'll ever read might just be that opportunity for you. All right, that's it. That is all the books that I want to talk about this week, or have to talk about this week. As always, I want to congratulate you for watching the Final Order Cutoff video. As I love to say, FOC knowledge is power, and I applaud you for watching this video, and I thank you for supporting me and my channel through watching this video. If you liked it and you liked the information, please feel free to hit the like button, and if you haven't already subscribed, I invite you to do that as well. Thank you all so much once again for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.